And welcome back to the basement.
Yeah, well, some of us.
A
few of us are here.
Some of us could show
It
up.
smells
for
semi-minty
fuck's
down
sake.
here.
Oh,
Did you do a mint carpet treatment?
No.
No, you didn't do like a reverse osmosis mint treatment
No.
on your carpet.
Now I'm concerned.
Oh no, you shouldn't.
Should not.
I'm,
I'll smell
Don't worry,
mint.
I decided to start the show off with just bullshit, so it wasn't real at all.
Oh, okay.
Your basement doesn't smell
I'll
minty.
pour some beer in the
You know what this
jar.
basement
That's
does smell like?
important.
Some good ass jerky.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Smells
just
like-
saying.
It smells like winning is what it smells like.
I smell toast.
Shut up, man.
And he's the youngest member of the
Right?
panel.
That's not good.
That's concerning.
We should actually
The
you know,
ginger squash smells.
we should go in order of appearance. Not
Some sweet-ass jerky.
yeah.
He's making it. He's selling it.
Holy crap. Yeah, it's this week. I'm not sure where it's going to be other than at the restaurant, Frisch Eatery, 145 East, 1300 South. You can also order it online through our website, frisheats.com. We'll take you to our Etsy shop. The initial goal was met and blown past like in the second or third day. So,
Oh,
and
yeah.
thanks everybody.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So we're sending out samples to retailers. Because that's the kind of feedback we're getting right now is, hey, I want to buy this in my local store. So that being said, if you're out, say, in the middle of Ohio and you have a local little health food store you like, send me some information and we'll get a sample out to them and see if they want to carry us. In the meantime, if you can't make it past Frisch, our friends down at Watchtower Cafe are carrying the Frisch Jerky, and the Bike Doctor in Missoula, Montana
Well,
is fully stocked and ready to serve your plant-based jerky needs. They're great people. I've known these folks for a long
Montana.
time, but it was pretty cool seeing.
no,
seeing
wait,
it.
it's a bike shop?
It's like
Are you
a
talking
it's
like
like
bicycles or motorcycles?
a bicycles. It's
Okay.
like a punk rock bike shop in Missoula, Montana, and these guys do awesome work. They'll fix your bike up. They'll sell you some jerky, and
That's funny.
and they're good folks.
I love
So,
it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Lee George Cade, everybody.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
It is once again a pleasure to be here, especially on the momentous occasion of our cinema's birthday.
We'll get to that.
Happy birthday, Star Wars.
We'll get to that coming up in this episode. Hi, Shannon.
I seen a Star War.
I seen them movies.
I seen them shits. What's up, dog?
You know, I've seen those movies too.
Yeah. 4 more fucking days and the goddamn 7-Eleven's
Oh,
closed.
you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it.
I don't
Jesus.
know. I don't know.
She's been a bitch. It's been a fucking bitch, and I'm right up to end.
I heard the employees can't read that good.
Their math is good, though. Their math is all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you need. You need math.
Kick some
You
ass
need
at math.
math. Oh, excuse me. You need math skills at the SEV. You know, to run that register.
Oh, God, they're so weird this year, and I need to go.
It's always weird at the SEV.
It's weird everywhere.
Yeah.
Also, like, we had Junior Achievement Day.
Junior Achievement Day.
Yeah. So what it is
You don't want full
is
achievements,
some
just
rich,
juniors.
some rich white asshole comes into my SEV,
Yeah.
tries to teach my kids, and then just pats themselves on the back about, God, look what we did.
Look
to these
what I
little brown
did.
Kids. Look what we did.
Look what I
Is
did.
this-
Come on,
is
let's take a picture.
Yeah.
Put it on
Is-
Facebook.
Is this
like-
kind of like the thing where they have a business fair and they bring all the kids in and show them
No,
about
it's-
the businesses that they could.
So, like, the kids in 4th grade learned about entrepreneurism.
Okay.
You know,
That's good. I mean, which is
and
good.
I could have
Yeah.
told them a
and
few
that was
things.
actually my kids are so weird. They were so into it. But my favorite is I got this guy that I'm gonna miss. He's the only reason I haven't like burnt the building down.
You won't.
So there's a point where they all get a certain amount of like stuff that they have, and they go start a business. So we're going around, we're hearing what all their business are, and this kid, I'm gonna say his name. His name is Win. He goes, so what's your name? What's your business? He goes, it's a restaurant. That's how he talks, right? And,
I like them already.
This is good.
and they just start laughing. Oh, okay, what's the name of your restaurant? He goes, it's called Corn on Top.
Corn on top.
Damn it! Wait, hold on. I'm opening a new restaurant.
Corn.
And we're like, so what's going on at Corn on Top? He goes, whatever you order. It comes with free corn on top.
Sounds like an Adult Swim sketch.
It does. It really did. And I'm like laughing so much. And I go, so like you order a steak. He goes, you get some corn on top.
Like Tim and Eric or something.
Yeah.
No, it reminds me of that Rick and Morty where they go to
Fucking
that
love this
planet.
kid.
where they go to the planet where Rick's got to find they got 3 planets to hide out on, and there's that one that's got the corn on the cob.
Oh yeah.
And then I go,
Everything's corn on the cob.
and I go, spaghetti? You get some corn on top. Chocolate pudding? You get some corn on top.
Corn and chocolate's a good
And
combination.
he goes, I wrote a song with this corn on top. And I'm like, well,
Let's
of
hear
course.
it. Go.
And it was something like, come on over to the corn on top, to the corn on top, to the corn on top. Get yourself your free corn.
So-
I'm just fucking balling.
So he doesn't charge for the free corn on top.
No, it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
if he's a true entrepreneur, he's actually figured out the cost of the corn and included that in the regular price of
There
the
you
food.
go. There you go. It's all
So,
marketing.
I got to talk to
Corn
this
on
kid
top.
before.
He also does the best pratfalls I've ever seen in my life.
God, I love this kid.
He likes to pretend he's going to walk through the wall. He goes, I think I got it this time, Mr. B.
I love this kid. Never met him, and I love
what are
him.
you going to do when he walks in with 2 plates of spaghetti with corn on top and just walks right through a wall?
I'll be like,
You're just gonna stand up.
say hi to David Lynch for me, kid.
Yeah, just stand up and applaud.
Say hi to the arm tree.
God, I really want this to be a place like 10 years from now. I really want.
Corn on top.
Well, it's kind of like Hot Dog City in Burbank,
Well, let me
where
just-
8 inches is just average.
Let me just say to people listening to this, you fucking steal that corn on top idea from that kid. We're coming
Yeah.
for you. All right.
Isn't it
Coming
time?
hard.
Isn't it time for the Kerry and Matilda Jackson entrepreneurial fund to start? where you start going around finding weird ass ideas that second graders have. And
I love that idea. Oh,
My kids are so weird this year.
Yeah.
man.
Instead of Shark Tanks,
Don't
you call
steal-
it,
One
you call
kid-
it Guppy Tank.
One kid always stands in the hall and he like on a bathroom break and you guys can't see me, but
you're wiggling.
he's like shimmies.
Like
And he-
Axl Rose.
Yeah, and every day he goes, "Hey, Mr. B, guess what I had for dinner?" And I go, "What?" And he goes, "Chipotle." Chipotle. What?
Why does he have to like wave? His,
Why is he
That's his
shimmying?
dance. Oh, Chipotle.
So he likes Chipotle.
Yeah.
With corn on top.
Corn on top. Because they do that at Chipotle. They
Like-
have a corn
That's
true. Did
salsa they put on top.
What about corn on bottom?
No, corn's never a bottom.
Let's not overcomplicate this.
Corn on top, Jay. Corn on
Don't
top.
fuck with the business
Corn
model.
corn is always a top.
Let's ease the people in with corn on top.
Yeah.
And then in a couple of years, then we'll once they get used to corn on top, then we'll surprise them
Could
with
you
the
imagine
corn on the
this
bottom.
kid's cornbread with corn on top?
God damn it.
Especially like if you did a roasted corn.
That's what I asked him. Is it just always... No, we do different stuff with the corn. We fry the corn.
Now if
Oh,
you could
yeah.
just
We
get
cream the
that, you
corn.
could just get that special corn.
I
From
want to meet his family.
that special corn from that Logan movie. Then would be.
Yeah, that genetically modified corn that actually got rid of the mutant gene.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Come to my pub quiz Wednesday night.
Yes.
It's got corn on top.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make a burger with corn on top.
I'd
I'll ask
honestly
Rob.
get it. I'd honestly get it. Corn on top burger. Yeah, I'd eat it.
I'd eat the hell
Have
out
you
of that.
have you ever had like roasted corn with Mexican seasonings on a burger? Mm-hmm. It's good.
Delicious.
One of the
Listen
ladies
to
I
your
work
listen to
with,
your vegan friend tell you what kind of burger you should
one of the
eat.
ladies I work with says she likes corn on top of her spaghetti. And I'm like, well, how the fuck did that happen?
I mean, it
Did you
doesn't.
not-
I mean, it doesn't seem like. Well, she probably just mixed it in.
Yeah, it was probably an accident the
corn
first
with
time.
Who eats corn
No,
with
we're
spaghetti, though?
we're
I mean, it
talking
probably
just like a
mixed it on
can
a
of
plate.
niblets that
don't
you know.
know.
Or you
Green
talking
Giant.
if you're
I
talking
don't know what
like
she was talking about. I just walked away.
Guys, we don't even talk about geek shit anymore. This is about
No,
corn.
welcome
now.
to
It's
Corn
about-
Talk.
if you're doing like if you're doing
welcome
like
to Corn
a
Talk.
if you're doing like an Alfredo with corn, that's good.
Oh yeah.
Sounds good.
We now changed the podcast name to Corn Hub.
Yeah, call it corn on top.
Corn Hub wins.
Corn
We
hub.
could call it the cornhole.
Yeah, that's a good one. God,
He wins with Corn Hub. He's Jay Whitaker.
what's up? Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm doing shit.
According to some, he's the only funny person in the morning.
I like that. That was cool. That was cool.
That was a nice compliment.
I know that was a nice comment. Thank you, Satan.
It's Satan's little dog.
What's up? I'm doing some shit. Let's see. What's today's date? It's 27th.
This is the 29th.
All right. So as the crow flies and as the Christmas tears shed, I don't know what that means, but I'll be doing some shit at the Pride Festival
Oh, good.
Sunday, June 4th, 12:30 at the Spoken Word Tent. I'll be performing with Shane Smith, Natasha Maurer, great local Salt Lake comedians. Guys, this is like a first. This is the first year I've actually been able to attend Pride and perform it because I usually am in uniform for that weekend.
The Pride Festival in Salt Lake. It's one of the largest ones in the nation.
Yeah.
It's bananas.
And it's
I
a lot
can't
of
wait.
fun.
I can't wait to do it. Like, I can't wait to be a part of it because, it does make me laugh. Kind of laugh that the Pride Festival is always the government and the Pride Festival don't necessarily. I'm always in the government's uniform on the day the Pride Festival is happening, but this year it's not, and I'm pretty excited to perform.
That's cool.
I got some other shows coming up. It's just a lot of random shit. Check Twitter. You guys. I'll just say this right now. I'll just give these guys a great shout out because goes straight to our listeners. If you like geek shit, which you do because you're listening to this podcast, if you like karaoke, if you like cosplay, go down to Scofies in Midvale because they do cosplay karaoke night every second and fourth Friday of the month.
Really?
I've gone for the past two events, and they're all raising money to help benefit some kids in this in the city locally that are struggling with.
Neff and those guys?
Yeah, Neff. That's what I was just about to say. Neff is just, it's the way it's run. It's so fucking fun. Like, it really is. Like, it's a nice break. It's a nice break, and you get to be in a very comfortable community. Everybody's cosplaying as what? There was like 3 Harley Quinns last night. There was a guy that was there was an Old Man Logan there last night. A few Deadpools. There was a woman that did Marilyn Manson perfectly. One of Satan's friends was there, and then there was Satan. Satan was there too. So it was just a good time. The drinks are cheap. The karaoke's good.
I could go as that guy from that Harley Quinn comic.
I saw him.
Oh yeah, dude. No, but and they there's a lot of love. It's a great place for to hang out.
What's the name of the place again?
Scofies, but I believe they might be changing it to the Union. It's right in Midville.
Okay.
But it's over by Fort Union.
Yeah, I'd say anything Neff gets himself attached to is for a good cause, and that guy's got a huge heart, and
all right,
it's cool.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a comedy show there eventually to help benefit some folks, and I'm doing all types of shows, benefits, swinger parties, all it's yeah.
Swinger parties.
Where can we find these?
Just leave a white rock in your yard and Jay will find you.
On my Twitter, no, it's a black rock, big black boulder.
Oh shit!
Yeah, just follow me on Twitter at It's Jay Whitaker. Sorry, that's a super long plug, but I just really want to give a shout out to what they're doing over there at Scofies and Neff.
All right.
He
smells toast. He's the producer and designated driver of the program. He is Quad T, Too Tall Trill Tony.
Anyone got any butter
For the toast?
for the toast?
I think there might be some corn on top.
Put some corn on there and butter. Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony for fart jokes and tech updates, or on the Gadget Spot podcast. Gadget Spot. Yep, that's the one. With James. Woo! Hey, thanks, guys. Filling in for him.
We're filling in for James.
Jaron and Owen. And we release an episode every 2 weeks.
As we record this, Jimmy Martin is at Phoenix Comic-Con with his wife selling the art.
Yep.
And he's fine. He's just fine.
High kicking for art.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
High kicking for art. All right.
That is an enthusiastic. Oh, we have a host, ladies and gentlemen. Straight down from off the mountain.
Oh.
Mr. Doctor, shall we say, Professor General Emeritus Kerry Jackson.
Wow.
He's not wearing a hat, y'all.
I got confused.
yeah.
I usually know what his title is based off of his hat.
He's not wearing a hat.
No, we got no cameras. I'm the only one not wearing a hat in this room.
Well, I figured we had to have
It's true.
cameras.
I always wear a hat.
Besides, I forgot to go see my barber Dustin. I tried to do this shit myself with Dole clippers. So the lesson is go see your barber, Leigh.
Yes,
you
Leigh.
dumbass.
That's right. You get your hair done, Kerry.
I get it did, yeah.
That shit's amazing to me. I don't know why that shit bothers
Well,
me.
you get your hair done.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I've always known Kerry with a hat, so it's like I feel like the idea of him going to a barbershop just.
Matter of fact, you and I need to go visit a barbershop.
That's right.
Yeah,
God.
we do with the recording equipment. I'm just going to shut up and listen.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
It's going to be a good time.
All right. Let's see. Let's start things off. We are going to get to Star Wars because it's the 40th anniversary last week.
I love the way you say that.
We are going to get to Star Wars
I love the way you say that.
in the second half.
Say it again.
But before that, I got some shit.
Yeah.
Some news and some shit.
Some news and some shit.
Oh, jeez.
Let's do the shit first.
News shit.
For real?
You want to do the shit first?
Then we can get on to the good news after.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my son's double feature last Saturday. He said, "Dad, I want to watch these 2 movies. Which one should I watch first?" And I looked at the 2 movies and I said, "Well, Logan first, then Lego Batman, because you're going to need to shut your brain down for a while."
Yeah, that's a good point about that.
I finally saw Logan.
I love
Yeah.
that movie,
Watched
but
it
is
last night.
sad.
How was your decompression cycle?
I was fine with it. I rejoiced. It was just so fucking good.
Did the little
You
kid
know?
with the Wolverine action figure at the funeral bust you up?
A little bit.
Because I cried and sobbed, and the neighbors called the police because they thought someone was being murdered.
Actually, I got to go back and look and see. I didn't see that.
Yeah, the little tubby kid that
Oh,
lights
yeah.
people on fire. He's clutching in both of his arms a 12-inch Wolverine action figure.
Oh, I'll look
and
closer
just,
next
and
time.
just sobbing. And, and then
Well,
yeah.
it was hard to see through my tears when she took the cross and made it into an X.
Into an X.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Oh, anyway, let's raise a glass to the most flamboyant Bond.
Yeah.
Star of 1964's The Many Sins of Rachel Cade.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that's right, Sir Roger Moore, who was in a really damn good Bond movie. He was into Live and Let Die.
And
Yeah.
I'd say Spy Who Loves Me was still a good Bond movie.
Spy Who Loves Me was pretty good.
But once you get to like Moonraker and Octopussy, yeah.
They were doofy.
I remember my friend David and I, we went to the Art City Drive-In to see Moonraker, and we took our lawn chairs, and we're sitting there watching this, just going, "This is really bad, isn't it?"
Yep. Jaws in space.
Is this what has happened because of the Star Wars?
Yep.
Is this is really bad? Are all movies going to be bad now? Because they're all trying to be Star Wars.
Live and Let Die. When was that? 74? 75?
Boy,
Mid 70s.
I'll look it up.
look it up.
I remember seeing that because I was little. I was not even in grade school yet. I remember that movie scaring the shit out of me.
Damn.
It had some.
It had the voodoo stuff in
Yeah,
it.
some really, really intense voodoo hallucinations.
1973.
Thank
Okay.
you. Well, that was his first one.
It was.
Yeah, because
after,
he started in 73 and finished in 85.
after the Lazenby experiment.
It's, so Roger Moore, also star of Cannonball Run.
Fuck yeah, he was good in those.
He was in Boat Trip,
He
too.
played Roger Moore.
He played
Roger Moore, star of Revenge of the Pink Panther.
Oh, really?
Well, Clouseau went under cosmetic surgery when they pulled the bandages off his face. This is after What's His Fuck died.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I never
So
saw
it was
those.
just a clip movie. So it was all this clip movie of Clouseau and all these people trying to investigate where Clouseau went, and they kept going to this boat in the Mediterranean with this man with a bandaged face, and at the end they clipped off the bandages, and it was Roger Moore. So Clouseau had undergone some cosmetic surgery.
All right.
I heard an interview with the guy that I think made Moonraker. Raker. And
What?
apparently he lit his balls on fire on that movie. They shot it. There's like a scene, I guess, where they shoot like a missile under the table, and he was supposed to jump up, and he didn't jump up in time, and it blew up and lit his balls on fire.
Wow.
Jeez.
That wouldn't have happened to Lazenby. Lazenby would
He
have
was
just punched
such a
that
doof.
missile.
Oh, yeah.
He was a
But you know what?
pacifist.
But he owned it.
He did own it, especially in Cannonball
God.
Run.
What was the last one he did where he was where his conquest was Grace Jones, and then he had a fight on the Golden Gate Bridge?
I'll look it up.
Oh, that's the Duran Duran song.
View to a Kill.
View to a Kill.
What a
Thank you.
shitty movie.
Terrible.
Even Grace Jones couldn't make that movie cool.
Just awful.
1985.
Thank you.
Oh,
James Bond. Ha 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 ha.
The year I was born.
All right. So, Roger Moore. Have
Yeah.
a drink. Have a martini.
because I know
in
he
his
didn't.
honor.
With some corn in it.
Corn on top.
On top.
Okay, so do you really want to start with the shit?
Let's just get to it.
Let's do it.
Let's get it over
make
with.
it
That's an
happen.
idea. If you want to go the other way, that's
Isn't
fine.
that the battle cry of the show anyway? Let's get it over with.
That's true.
All right, so here's 3 items that I have called
shit.
It's shit.
Okay.
And the first one is more just geek news that you've heard already, but we want to cover it here. The whole Zack Snyder story.
Yeah.
So fucking sad.
It
That
is sad.
Way sad.
Apparently, it was back in March. His daughter,
She's like 20,
yeah,
yeah.
committed suicide, and they kept it private.
as it should be.
Yes. And he said, in my mind, I thought it was going to be a cathartic thing. I'll just throw myself back into work, bury myself,
Doesn't work that way.
power through it. He said, but then he realized that he can't do it. So he apparently had asked Joss Whedon some time ago to come in and give him a hand with it.
Yeah.
And
Finish up with editing and a couple reshoots.
And this was before the suicide.
Okay.
Joss had been working on it for a bit, punching up a little dialogue and shooting some extra
Like he
footage.
does.
Like he does, So he said, "That's it. You stay home. I'll take over. I'll finish the movie." So that's what's happening.
What a stand-up thing for Joss to do once
for
again.
sure.
But here's what was shitty is there were some geeks out there that started giving him shit about it. And they're saying,
And again, yes.
And for one, okay, when our friend Paul, who was probably the biggest critic of Joss Whedon on the planet, says, "I'm cool with this. Whedon writes good dialogue, and he's doing it for the right reason, and let's fucking leave the Snyders alone." I mean, that's a shitty thing to have happen.
And this is what fucking pissed me off, is that these fucking troll-ass motherfuckers...
So you're leading into the other 2 pages of shit that I have.
Yeah.
We're coming down on bad geeks this week.
Yeah, because I don't give a fuck what you think about those any movie that guy's fucking made. First of all, you don't know him as a person.
You don't.
And to take joy in him, as someone who has experienced fucking tremendous loss, right? The joy that I see in some people are taking at this guy's horrible fucking pain he's going through.
I mean,
It fucking disgusts me.
when you hit send on those kind of comments, is it like, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you are that kind of person, turn off this goddamn podcast.
Get the fuck off.
Get the fuck out of
If
here.
you
We
said,
don't want you.
"Yay,"
or come tell me in person
no
how much you
shit.
would like to make fun of somebody who's going through
I'll
that
fill
kind of
your
grief.
fucking mouth with bloody chiclets.
Put some corn on top.
Corn on top.
Fuck. No, seriously. I'm sorry. That
Nah,
just,
I'm
fucking
with you,
pissed me
dog.
off so
Even
I'm
bad.
with you.
even one of the most biggest piece of shit trolls I know in Salt Lake City actually had a moment of decency about this dude. So
Really?
yeah.
Well, we'll talk when the mic's off.
Yeah, I'm
I'm curious. But anyway, so that's what's happening. And so Joss has stepped up, and they're going to finish the movie and get it into the theaters for you in time. So there's that. The bad geeks that were commenting. All right.
Yeah, just
Fuck
seriously
you
have
guys.
a moment of empathy and think to yourself, what would I do
Have an ounce of
in
decency.
this situation? It's like an Alex Jones moment when Alex Jones was begging people to stop harassing his daughter during his divorce. The guy that was saying that Sandy Hook was a hoax and that the kids were paid actors. It's empathy, dude. Fucking step back for a second.
Yeah.
And think, what would I feel if anybody in my family, if this happened to,
Yeah.
And not only that, dealing with the stigma that's associated with suicide in this country. With people saying that your daughter committed a sin and harassing you for that shit. The same ones that believe that you can't retire because Noah was 600 when he built the ark.
Exactly.
And it just blows my mind how, like these bad geeks, they're so enamored with all these characters that have had, like,
Tragic.
loss.
tragic
And so
loss
then
in
you
their own
just,
lives.
in their own lives. So if you glorify these superheroes that have had tragic loss, you to me, it should make sense that, common sense should be like, you should be able to understand actual human being, real life,
Well, I think we need a new mantra. We used to have the mantra was if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. I think the new mantra is if you can't say it to their face, shut the fuck up.
That's
Exactly.
that's a good one.
That might
kinda,
be the best
That's kind of
one.
where I'm at with the internet. Is the anonymity makes you feel bulletproof.
Oh yeah.
And then I've known a couple people in my life who people swear left and right. It's a decent person in reality, but on the internet they're assholes. Well, if the only way I know you is through the internet, then you're a piece of shit, and I have no other reality. So again, go ahead, have discourse, have an argument, disagree with somebody.
They talk about this with cyberbullying. So there's 2 things that are terrible about the internet. Well, more than 2, but when it comes to this kind of thing, right? One, you can say whatever the fuck you want, and it's not like on the playground or in real life. You can't see that actual immediate effect it's having on that person. You know what I mean? You can't see their face or see them cry or whatever, right? So it's way easier to do. And then also you can't get away from it anymore.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
They'll find you.
And
They'll
it's
follow
just, I don't fucking get it.
you. Yep.
I try not to be a troll at all anymore about anything.
Except
Sorry, Trump.
I'm
that guy.
trying to learn the words. I think I can see why you feel that way. It's a really hard thing for me to say because I have opinions.
No, same here.
Yeah. Unless they're being, bigots or shitty to people. Cool. That's your opinion. I'm okay with that.
Well, and There was a week of
And here it
bad
comes.
geekery.
I know what this one's about.
No, I'm saving that one for last.
Oh, the dub.
No, we're starting with Dub Dub.
Yeah, okay.
Because there was some other shit that happened.
That's right. Oh God,
That was under the radar.
Yeah.
That I'm really fucking pissed about.
Let's get to it.
I'm fucking pissed about both of these. Wonder Woman.
Yep.
This shit.
Everybody's talking about it. Draft House event invitation read, apologies, gentlemen, but we're embracing our girl power and saying no guys allowed for one special night at the Alamo Ritz. And when we say people who identify as women only, we mean it. Everyone working at the screening, venue, staff, projectionist, culinary team will be female. Here comes...
You guys can't give them one fucking night? Yeah. Just one fucking night.
Is it a whole night or is it just one
Well,
screening?
that was the original plan, was one screening.
Right.
Just one night.
One screening, one night.
This is the Alamo, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the wrong people to fuck with.
I hope someone sues this is discrimination based on sex.
Fuck you.
So tell me, tubby middle-aged white man, exactly how much have you been discriminated against? Do you even know what it means?
You don't.
Yeah.
You're told that you're discriminated against, but you're not.
I used to think that I had it pretty rough,
Yeah.
but I've seen some things.
Here's some more.
Yeah.
Great. Let us know when you have a guys-only screening of Thor, Spider-Man, Star Wars, etc. Let's see you walk the walk now that you set this precedent.
Fuck you.
You fucking prick.
Yeah.
He said have a girls' night.
He said precedence, and
have a
it
girls'
was supposed to
night
be
out.
precedent. I just
Yeah,
corrected
you
it.
corrected
more.
it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's obviously a dumbass.
Yes.
You know, we better not do special viewings for kids with disabilities.
Yeah.
Because unless we let people that don't have disabilities in, they're being discriminated against.
So the Draft House responded, "We've never done showings where you had to be a man to get in, but we did show the Entourage movie a few years ago."
That's the best comment. I love that comment.
This is and then there were guys who were like us. We're fine with it.
Cool.
We don't care.
Yeah.
You know, it's
How
great.
does
a
this
big deal.
affect their fucking lives?
Absolutely does
in
not.
any fucking
It
way.
does not.
We also didn't scream counter massage or we didn't scream about the Ghostbusters remake because, well, for one, it was a good movie.
Yeah, we liked it.
And so what? You know, how does this affect you in the long run?
I just want to say these motherfuckers, I've said it before. Get some real fucking problems.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
Right?
okay. Let me throw out maybe a what if. It's the Alamo Ritz in New York, right?
It was in Austin, I believe.
Okay. So Austin's a big city, right? Mm-hmm. It's pretty big. So is this the only place that's showing Wonder Woman that night?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's just
Is
it.
it?
That's just it.
It's not like it's nationwide. Every
I could
theater
see
is
if it
only
was
girls
the
that
only
night.
showing of Wonder Woman that day. Going, well,
in the
gosh, I wish I
town.
could see it,
Yeah.
Well, but you can see
but
it.
you can see it the next day.
You'll see it.
And
for
these
fuck's
douchebags are going
sake.
to pirate it anyway.
Let
Yeah.
the ladies have a fucking fun night. You know
And
what I
then,
mean?
and then there was the good geeks who said, "This is a great idea. I'll see it some
Yeah.
other time."
It's
you know?
it's
Well,
a dope idea.
And then one commenter said, "Wow, that was easier than deciding to feel persecuted."
Yeah.
I like that guy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But I mean, all right. I kind of want to see Alamo Draft House just do an all-female screening for Magic Mike and just see would anybody complain about
Nobody
that?
would
Hey,
give a one
hey,
fuck up.
hey, internet, would
But
you
here's-
complain about that?
Nope.
Here's what happened. They sold out so quickly.
Yeah.
They added a second. It sold out so quickly. They're doing more.
Cool. So it went from
great.
one showing to a third showing because you
Yeah.
guys were being
Watch
assholes.
some douchebags be out there fucking protesting and shit.
And it was on. I think it was on Gizmodo. Yes, Beth Elderkin pointed out, and she made the excellent point. Since 1920, there have been about 130 superhero and comic book films with solo protagonists in the United States, both on the big and small screens. Do you know how many of those 130 films had female leads?
Other than Supergirl,
I was
no.
thinking of Supergirl's the only
Well,
one I
I'd
could think
say
of.
4.
What
Am
do
I
you?
right? 4?
8.
8.
8 out
Oh,
of
so they're
130.
counting Catwoman. They're
counting
counting
this,
probably Aeon Flux,
Tank Girl.
Tank Girl. Okay.
Exactly.
The original
Lucy,
Wonder Woman
maybe-
TV
maybe
series.
But how
Lucy.
many of those were any good?
Yeah, maybe Lucy.
Right? I mean, Wonder Woman.
Does it have a list of the 8?
It does. It does on Gizmodo, but I didn't grab it.
Oh.
What
Okay.
the fuck? Like, guy, what the fuck is wrong with people?
I just
Like, I don't know
I
anymore.
don't know what goes through people's heads. I have a hard time.
It wasn't about them, so they had to make it about
you
them.
know, I have such a hard time trying to figure out that thought train. You know, I try to do that with
Yeah.
with my conservative relatives and things like that. I try to figure out how that thought train happened.
Yeah.
And it's just like you guys said, you don't know what discrimination is.
Even if you grew up dirt poor and had people calling you a redneck hillbilly all your life, you still don't know.
Yes.
Because you haven't. I have a friend who regularly gets asked to leave his movie theater seat
Yeah.
just because.
Right?
And the first
Don't even
time
get me started.
the first time we all had a little chuckle. And we're like, oh, poor Jay. And then the next time we're
Yeah,
like,
and then it
what
kept
the
happening.
fuck?
That's
And then, and then the next time,
Yeah.
Like, what the actual fuck?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well then, Jay, you're gonna love this.
Is this
Oh,
the
God.
third one?
This is the third pile of shit.
Third pile?
I'm glad we're doing this first because you got my blood all angry.
No, we're going to talk about Star Wars in the next half.
See, first is
No,
good.
I'm just like the whole fucking world anymore. I'm like,
'Cause-
what the fuck is wrong with
Because
people?
along comes Star Wars to make things better.
Well, sometimes you have to have a fever before things get better.
Yeah, you got to burn it down to make this ground fertile again.
Yeah, but that's their rallying cry.
Oh, that's true. I didn't say that. Who said? Someone says that?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
here we
Sometimes
go.
you got to break a few eggs to make a good omelet.
Here we go. This one just. I got angry for about 5 minutes, and then I realized they're not really fans. All right, here we go. The new series Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, motherfuckers.
I already saw it.
Yep.
I didn't see this.
I have not
This-
seen it too.
What are we talking about?
This made me, like I said, for 5 minutes, I was furious. Features Asian actress Michelle Yeoh as the ship's captain, and black actress Sonequa Martin Green as her first officer. And this has caused some assholes to fret
Is that
about.
how they wrote that?
That's how it was written in this article. I think I got it on IO9. I can't remember.
Good writing. Good job. I'll take it.
To fret about the lack of white men in charge.
Seriously?
Oh my fucking
Oh, is
god!
this- It's, you know,
We've
it's
only
been
had-
going so well as it is.
We've only had like 7 white male captains so far in all 9 series, so we need more of
So-
that.
White guys are killing it in charge of our government right now.
The overall reaction
Why
to
should
the
we like
trailer
them?
was pretty positive.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
I
thought it
fucking
was-
loved it.
I thought it
I
was
got-
cool.
I haven't watched
Oh,
it. Does it look-
God,
does it look neat?
I got chills because it felt like Star Trek.
If I'm going to
When
be
it-
totally honest, it made me think maybe I will subscribe to CBS All Access
Uh,
to watch
yeah.
this.
When that ship came out of the clouds,
Uh-huh.
I just
It looks
Uh-huh.
so good.
So this is from Heat Street and the Daily Kos pointed out that the series YouTube page has been bombarded by comments labeling the show
Racist.
as a social justice warrior plot aimed at shoving political correctness, forced diversity, and cultural Marxism.
But that's Star Trek.
I was
Down
going to say
the
that.
viewers.
That sounds like Star Trek.
And
That's been
and
Star
see-
Trek since '65. For
and
God's
see, that's
sake,
the thing. I realize they're not
they
really
don't know Star Trek.
fans.
Yeah.
And
no
I'm just
idea.
like,
Gene Roddenberry was a polyamorous socialist that thought that,
Yeah.
that we were going to live towards a moneyless utopia where everybody got along and sexual orientation and skin color no longer mattered.
you gotta fuck whoever you want.
Yeah.
Let's
They
go-
had a fucking
well,
pleasure planet
you
where you
see-
could just go lay pipe.
But see,
Or
then I found some of the comments and I realized. Then I found the
if you
comments
chose to.
and I realized that they don't know Star Trek.
No.
No,
So
these are the people that have only seen the last 3 movies in theaters.
Listen to these comments. Well, even then they should have realized that, especially that last one.
They were just looking at special effects.
All right, here you go. Here's some, whenever you see the hashtag white genocide, there's always something that will make
they
your
sure
head
are
explode.
Because I'm sure the white race sure has
Us-
seen a lot of
us poor
genocide.
fucking white folk.
Okay.
man.
Yeah. Here we go.
I'm just.
We've had it rough, haven't we, Shannon?
Gosh darn it!
I'm just over here chilling.
Boy,
know.
golly gee, have we?
Yeah.
Here are the comments.
We're
Start-
underrepresented in media.
Yeah.
Star Trek Discovery. The only white males are a Vulcan asshole and a wimpy helmsman. The show appears to be fully SJW converged.
Oh, I
What?
bet they called him cucks at some point too.
What the fuck? So they're complaining about that. Meanwhile, I auditioned for every fucking role as a black male, or not even black male, but person of color, and we're usually at the bottom. I swear. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm so fucking angry.
And yet, I get an email from my friend Tabitha, who
It's
God damn it.
Asian American woman,
Yeah.
and she said she was brought to tears the first time she heard Michelle Yeoh talk because Michelle Yeoh was allowed to keep her Chinese accent.
There was an article that I
yeah.
read, the Geek Show Twitter handle retweeted. Was
Yeah.
that her?
No,
God.
no.
Oh, okay.
I got that message from Tabitha about half an hour before you retweeted that. She said, she herself has been in the States her entire life, but her mother
Yeah.
has a somewhat thick Chinese accent. Her grandmother doesn't even speak English.
It was-
and she's like,
yeah.
watching this, I'm going, oh, my family can exist there.
Seriously, I
Yeah.
want people to go read this. It was on Blaster or the Sci-Fi Wire, whatever it's called now. It was an article written by this young lady, and it'll bring you to tears.
It's
It will.
it's the thing. Okay, growing up in my household, Star Wars fans, right? My wife likes Star Wars. My son likes Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I live and breathe Star Wars. My daughter could give a shit. Ray comes along and she goes, I can be a Star Wars. Okay?
go.
Yeah.
So now, and that's kind of what it's about. You might say that it's social justice warrior bullshit. No, it's about having an opportunity to look at something and say, I can be that.
Yes.
Or
Because
I don't
not
even-
everybody looks at
I
episode
don't-
4 and says, I can be Luke.
But I don't think, like, in the case of this, I don't think it was a fucking conscious choice even. Like, oh, let's really do this and be diverse.
Well,
I think-
Brian Fuller said that he was going to follow the Star Trek
Model.
Which has
model,
been
which is-
diversity for more than 50 years.
Well,
Exactly.
it's called IDIC, and it's in the original Star Trek. It's this Vulcan symbol that Spock
Infinite
has
diversity
on.
and infinite
And he says
combinations.
it's the IDIC symbol. It means infinite diversity and infinite combinations, and and so it's based in it's canon. It's in the original series.
Well, and I want to say, like, God damn it, the Federation's got what, thousands and thousands of ships, right?
Yes.
Okay. A fucking Chinese lady's probably going to be in control of one of these fucking ships.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just like,
Just the odds.
Now-
you know?
taking crazy pills here.
Yeah.
Now, see, the next tweet I got will really set you off.
I don't know if I can handle this. Hold on, I gotta lick this R2D.
Lick that.
Calm down.
It broke Jay. Look at him. He's just like,
I just don't get it.
I don't fucking get
Here it
it.
goes. Here it goes. Star Trek introduces white genocide in space as if diversity could make it to space.
What?
Do you?
So they're saying people of color couldn't even make it to fucking space?
They're saying that. Yes.
I think they need to
Fuck.
watch the second episode of American Gods and hear what Mr. Nancy has to say about that shit.
That made me cry actually.
I bet it did.
Let's
Fuck,
see.
I don't understand. They're
here's-
fucking crazy people.
Here's a couple more. CBS upcoming Star Trek diversity. Only one white cast member, and surprise, he's gay. Another SJW failure, like Marvel Comics.
Cool, then don't watch it. Fuck you.
Star Trek Discovery, more like Star Trek forced diversity.
That was a stretch.
That was terrible.
Another prequel no one asked for, lacquered in feminist political correctness and shit writing.
They know it's shit
They
writing
shit-
because they've seen it.
Because I've seen the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AKA SJW The Next Generation. Trailer drops. Seems Black Lives Matter made the trailer. Star Trek Discovery of Feminism Edition? ? I loved Captain Janeway, but please don't ruin Star Trek with tons of political correctness.
That's Star Trek.
That's fucking Star Trek is
That
the
is-
most
See?
politically correct fucking shit.
And
ever.
actually, if you really want to get into it, guess what the Borg are? The Borg are a warning about
Yes.
the dangers of extreme political correctness. That sometimes we can get so caught up in normalizing everything that we lose our individual identity. Well, it's also talking about
thought
the
of it that way.
third stage of
it's
intergalactic
so-
civilization. But
I get-
regardless,
I get so outraged because I'm so lucky to not know any people like this.
Exactly.
I just,
I know too
and-
many.
and it's not that hard, guys. They're people. They're in space. Cool.
You guys,
Let's look at the quality of the writing. Let's look at Brian Fuller and the fact that he hasn't done a shitty show.
Yeah.
Let's look at the fact that this guy got his start on Deep Space Nine. Oh, I'm sorry. Is Deep Space Nine a problem?
Yeah, or Voyager.
Well, Deep Space Nine had a very diverse cast, and that started in, what, 93? But again, if it's not bringing the trolls out, it's not Star Trek, because,
Yeah.
CBS was fined pretty heavily the original run because of some things they decided to do
Yeah.
and threatened mightily for pushing that envelope.
It just, like I said, my head exploded for 5 minutes researching that article, and then I realized they're not really fans,
Yeah.
but at the same time, they're out there,
Yeah.
and that's the
It's
that's
just-
the
But
problem.
I think that's all they've got,
I
and that's kind of sad.
can I just say, and I'm sorry for yelling earlier. I can't tell you. Like the comment about where a male is or I don't know if it's a male, but that person is complaining about that the only white guy is
it's gay.
is a Vulcan asshole. What?
White guy's a Vulcan asshole, and
wimpy
the
helmsman.
white male's a Vulcan asshole and a wimpy helmsman.
You guys, all right.
So
To reinforce what the message, because I had my knee-jerk reaction. I've kind of calmed down, but I will just say this: in theater, in the acting world, Halle Berry, Denzel Washington, Oscar winners. They both won Best Actor and Best Actress. Still to this day, those Oscars are almost they're I can't truly celebrate them. That's just me personally, because Denzel Washington had to play a crooked cop. You know,
I see what you're saying.
You know, Halle Berry damn near had to fuck a white dude just to get it. Well, she did in Monsters Ball, which I mean, still like great scene, but I mean, like she had to be at the bottom, like, and it just. So please understand for that person. I know you're not listening, but there are so many people of color. And then, I mean, let's talk about. We could go on about Indian Americans that always have to play taxi drivers,
right.
and people of brown and Latin descent that always have to play gardeners in these roles. There's
Or
so
gangsters.
Yeah. There's so many people that get typecast. So if you don't understand, you're just fucking stupid. Like I just wish I could articulate this better, and I would.
I think you're articulating it perfectly, Mike.
But you just don't get it. And when you see a person that has the same shade of you, after you're so used to them seeing them in a downtrodden role where they're always at the bottom of the barrel, and you just see them on top just for a fucking second, is that okay? Can we fucking have that moment? Just. I mean, it doesn't have to be that way all the time, but I mean, it's just like, fuck. Can we just enjoy that for a second?
Mm-hmm.
And if that makes me wrong or wanting to, I'm not trying to take over the white race. I'm not trying to take over the planet with my fucking social justice agenda. No, I just, there should be equal representation. Yeah, I'm like, fuck. I'm all for whoever wants to run a goddamn enterprise ship. Fucking let them run it.
And also, you know,
Just be good at the fucking job.
Right, and,
Yep.
and it's also not real.
It's not real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's that
I'm
article.
sorry, guys.
No.
I think you made good points. I think you made good points.
It's like as white people, my whole fucking life, I have seen white actors play every kind of fucking role. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
We've seen white actors. We've seen white actors play every kind of ethnicity too.
Exactly, and it's just like, so I've seen it top to bottom, but I've never thought about it really that way until you were just talking about it. It's like, for a majority of your life, every time, or like 98% of the time you saw a black actor, he was playing a fucking crook or something shitty, like a slave or a fucking, and
Well, I'll take it even further. As white males,
sure,
that's also very different. Back to that Wonder Woman thing, you know.
Yep.
We've that same argument. We've always seen that. Well, you know what? We're getting a Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
Awesome.
it's fucking 2017, man.
There's
Yes.
an
We're
article.
supposed to have flying cars, and we got fucking people boobing on their fucking internet about.
We'd have flying cars if people actually got off the fucking internet complaining about a goddamn Wonder Woman movie and put their energy and thought process into actually creating a flying car. I'm just saying.
There's an interview with Diego Luna that came out right after Rogue One. And
yes.
Diego Luna made a very conscious effort, and the director made a very conscious effort to make sure that Cassian Andor. Because guess what? Diego Luna is an amazing actor, and if he didn't want to use the accent that he has in that movie, if he didn't want to sound like Diego Luna, he could have sounded British and he could have sounded American. But they made a conscious effort for him to sound Mexican. I'm very deliberately saying Mexican. Because when he took his dad to see that movie, his dad was in tears when they left the theater. Because, oh my God, we made it. We're in space. We're in Star Wars, and it wasn't whitewashed. It wasn't. And guess what? Was the character any less believable as a kick-ass rebel spy?
And the thing is, I didn't even fucking notice. To be
know.
honest,
No,
I
me
really
neither.
did. Like I was just like,
he had an accent. I was like, oh, the guy's got an accent.
yeah, like,
and the movie went on.
and the movie went on.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it really fucking up your day?
So for us, we look at it and we go, okay, cool. There's this guy. He's a kick-ass rebel spy. And some people might have looked at it and said, oh, cool, here's this kick-ass rebel spy, and he just happens to be brown. Oh, cool, here's a kick-ass rebel spy that's got a different voice than mine. But to a lot of people, it was, this guy sounds like me.
Right.
And he's a badass.
And he's a badass.
Yeah.
And he's a hero who
Yeah.
laid down his life to
Exactly.
make Episode 4 happen.
Yeah.
That's why I freak out every time I see Anthony Mackie in a Falcon costume.
Yes.
Right.
It's because I'm a service member, and I'm very proud to serve my country, no matter what current state it is in. And to see a man is the same color as me, suiting up, fighting for his country, fighting alongside
Fighting
Captain
for
America.
principle.
Yeah, fighting for those same freedoms that I try to protect.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucking inspiring. Sorry if if that's too much fun for you, internet.
Social justice, Jay.
Oh God.
Social justice.
I'll chickadee check my fucking privilege. All right.
And to all of you who believe in white genocide,
I don't. Shit. Let me clarify. I don't.
Let me just calm your nerves. We live here in Utah.
Yeah.
The city of Sandy and Draper. Both of those cities are taking care of it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of white people. Plenty of white people.
They are bastions.
They're making
of,
them left and right.
What are they doing?
But the nice part
poison in
is
the fucking pottery barns and shit.
the nice part is the masses are so opiated out there. They just leave those kids sitting on the they're just sitting out there on the curbs. So if you ever need
With
a
fidget
white
spinners.
if you ever need a white kid, they're just hanging out in Harriman.
Yeah, get them. All right.
After.
Well, now that we've solved that problem,
Yeah.
Did we solve a problem?
we'll talk about Star Wars coming up
All right.
because Star Wars makes everything better.
It does.
It really does. I'm excited.
After these messages, we'll be
Right back.
I'm gonna punch things.
That sounded too black.
Things.
That sounded too black.
Things.
That sounded too.
And we're back.
Last segment drove me to drink.
Yep.
Fucking
We're
A.
back. We back. We chilling this shit.
I'm
Exactly.
sorry, my blood got so angry.
I know. I got emotional.
I knew there was no way to present these stories without that happening.
Guys, yeah, we gotta be better ambassadors to the world. Not as geeks, sure, as geek show people, sure, but I mean, I think overall,
Just as human beings.
geeks, you got to be better to each other, and you got to be better to the people around you. And some of you are already doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Some of you are really good ambassadors of nerddom. But the things that we love, Star Wars is about hope. Superman's about hope. Justice League's about hope. X-Men's about diversity and change and embracing the better world that can come. Star Trek in particular is about a world that isn't trying to throw itself into chaos constantly and where people can come together and be decent. So
And one I'll never see.
I will just to quickly piggyback on what Leigh said is just I really love this show because I know the type of man that I was prior to being on this show, and this show being around you amongst you gentlemen.
Stop it. I'm
No.
no gentleman.
You know, but honestly, it's being around you guys has made me open my mind to so much and made me a better person where I can actually truly stand up for what I believe in. And
I'm going to counter
Yeah.
that, Jay, and say that knowing you has several times been a learning experience for me and helped me realize that there's always work to do.
yeah, trust me.
Seconded.
San Diego
Me
Comic Con.
too. Me too.
San Diego Comic Con with Lee George Cade opened a fucking vast world for me, and I learned a lot about what's right, what's right, and respecting everybody, not just looking out for your own culture, but looking out for everyone's.
Yes.
and like honestly, and that's what being. To me, a good person and a good geek is not. I mean, look out for always. It's human nature to look out for yourself and look out for what looks like, but like look out for everybody.
Well, that's how we get to Star Trek and not Fury Road.
Exactly.
And that's what we want as a species, not as individual cultures. We want to get to the Star Trek, not the Fury Road.
Exactly. All
Because
right.
frankly, you don't want to see me there.
couple of quick news items, and then we'll talk Star Wars because it is the 40th. Let's see. The Spider-Man, they're calling it a spin-off, but as far as I know, these characters aren't going to be in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, but they are considered Spider-Man characters. Black Cat and Silver Sable.
Okay.
It is going forward. They have found a director. The filmmaker Gina Prince Bythewood did The Secret Life of Bees.
Oh.
She will be directing Silver and Black, is what it's going to be called.
So it's going to have one movie with both characters.
One movie with both
So
characters. in it.
they're maybe realizing that they're probably going to do it better than DC and go ahead and do it anyway.
I don't know.
Because I know like, Gotham Sirens is a thing that's getting
Yeah.
batted around by Warner Brothers a lot.
Yeah,
Those girls got some outfits.
yeah. So, we've got a producer. The script is being worked on right now. Chris Yost, who has worked on Thor Ragnarok writing. Lisa Joy, co-creator of Westworld, is
Nice.
Ooh.
working on the script.
God,
God.
And,
I missed that show. I'm waiting for that. Where's that? When's that
show's-
season coming back?
show-
A show that made
It's
net.
actually gonna. It's a while. They're like we're gonna get like a 2 year.
It's a long time, yeah.
I mean,
It's a show that made,
it's worth the wait.
It's a show that made nudity not sexy.
Yeah.
Right?
Can you believe that?
It's like,
HBO
thought I
show
could-
where nudity isn't sexy.
Let's see. This director won awards for Love and Basketball in 2000.
Love and Basketball. That was my jam. That's a
Yeah,
great. That's a great movie.
This is her feature debut.
Oh my God.
So she's
I
directing
love
this.
that movie. Sanan Lathan, Omar Epps. God, that movie's so good.
Whatever happened to fucking Omar Epps? That guy's a good actor.
He just did House, and that's it.
Oh, that's
She
right.
she co-created
Love and Basketball.
she
Great movie.
co-created the crime show Shots Fired, romantic drama Beyond the Lights.
I don't know none of that shit.
She is due to direct the pilot for Cloak and Dagger.
which the trailer too looks
Boy, that
fantastic.
trailer was
Seen
good.
that? Yeah.
There's a trailer now for
Yep.
Cloak and Dagger?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
there is.
What?
Yeah.
It's
You don't get to really see any superpowers.
no, you really don't. But you get a feeling
You
of
get
the
a
tone
feel
of the show.
yeah.
But the trailer for Gifted looked fantastic too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God, there's so much.
Gifted
There's
got
so
me
much
all
stuff.
pumped up.
Let's see. Oh, and here's more good news. The new Mutants movie is cruising right along.
Tell me they're going to set it in 2032
They haven't really said.
because the majority of the New Mutants were on screen in Logan.
They are
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Rosario Dawson, my darling Rosario, is joining. I love her so much.
When she's dancing in Clerks too.
God, yes. Anyway, so we already have Anna Taylor-Joy and Maisie Williams have signed up. We told you about that. So they're looking at Rosario Dawson. They're not saying what role. But here's what the director Joss Boone said in Entertainment Weekly. We're making a full-fledged horror movie set within the X-Men universe. There are no costumes. There are no supervillains. We're trying to do something different.
Maybe have some costumes. Just try.
Yeah.
Just maybe a
ahead.
little bit of costume.
Go ahead. Because you know
Come on,
what?
buddy.
Because
Come on, come on,
seriously,
come on,
it's
come
not
on, come
it's
on.
not like X-Men really embraced the costumes until
Maybe just
recently.
like color-coded shirts.
Yeah.
No,
or
because
something.
okay, what was
Jackets.
the first couple X-Men movies?
yeah,
are like,
jacket.
hey, how about some leather tracksuits?
Yeah.
that'll make them superheroes.
I wonder if
the
it's
only-
going to be
I was
something to do
okay
with
with
hell.
it.
It's like the only thing Days of Future Past got right is that they had costumes.
Yeah.
I bet they're going to do something
Those
to do
were
with
cool.
hell and demons.
Do you think?
Do the
Yeah,
New
Yeah, because
Mutants
magic,
play a lot in that?
magic is the. She
yeah.
becomes like the queen of
Yeah, she
hell.
becomes the queen of. She's abducted by demons when she's 8 and spends like 10 years of her life in limbo, but it's only a couple seconds to the rest of the world.
Uh-huh.
But Kitty Pryde goes there too and ends up aging into an old woman. So
Oh.
the two of them have a lot of baggage. But that sword that Elenia has is her soul sword. That's a sword that she forged in hell
Holy
to
shit.
become the queen of hell.
That's brutal.
How you just like forge a sword and like just
Out of your sword.
I know, but I'm just
Got
like
lots of
I'm-
free time
I
in
know.
between
I'm
getting
bored.
poked
I
with
think
them.
I'm going to mold my soul
Yeah, and then
into a sword.
you get back to
Goes
the-
on YouTube and starts looking up sword forging.
There was no YouTube at the time.
Tutorials. You never know.
Yeah, but you go back to Earth after you've been in hell for 10 years, and your brother's whining about how much he crushes on a a teenage girl, and
I was in hell, you whiny bitch.
yeah,
Oh, this is Piotr's
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, again, DC has more problems with their directors in movies. Doug Liman has left Justice League Dark.
that's never gonna happen. The only director that could have done that movie justice left it long ago.
I mean, now he says that it's just because he's busy. He's working on Chaos Walking and a bunch of other stuff.
I can't remember Contact with Foreign Dignitaries.
So there's that.
Just saying,
I
that's
got
the
you.
excuse for directors is, oh, I'm busy.
I got you. So anyway, they've lost another director. They're looking. Hopefully, they'll have one this week.
There is only one guy that could direct Justice League Dark.
Michael Bay.
Yeah, Michael Bay. Absolutely.
No,
What?
As I say,
What?
as I say, if not him, Brett Ratner.
Yeah,
no,
Ratner,
Michael
man.
Bay. Michael Bay's going to direct Justice League. Duh.
Dirk.
Duh.
And then finally, this you're getting a Dark Crystal prequel.
I saw that. I
series.
seen that shit.
It's,
I think that movie still scares me.
Wow.
It does.
It's live action. It's the Henson Muppet people,
Yep.
and it's going to be on Netflix.
Interesting.
The announcement: Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance will run 10 episodes.
Now,
and
if they
yes,
could-
there will be puppets.
If
Did
they
you
could
s-
find a
but-
script.
Did you see like
Shut up! The Dark Crystal is good, Lee George. King.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
they put a lot?
It is
The artwork is amazing. That they're
Oh
that
no,
what they're
the
doing for
people I can't remember the name of the designers.
Yeah.
But the people who designed all of the monsters in that and in Labyrinth, they do some amazing illustrations, and the design work on both movies is fantastic. But please don't insult me by saying that there's a plot there.
There is.
Yeah, well, it's cool. Actually, I don't know because
Skeksis in that.
the Gelflings freak me out.
Louis Leterrier.
Oh God, do you smell toast?
Louis
Nah, it's gone.
with corn on top. Louis Leterrier, who directed The Incredible Hulk and Now You See Me in Transporter. He is directing and executive producing the series.
Cool.
I liked some of those movies.
The characters will be brought to life with a mix of puppetry and CG. There's no premiere date yet.
It's a prequel.
But it says, when three Gelfling discover the horrifying secret behind the Skeksis' power, they set out on an epic journey to ignite the fires of rebellion and save their world.
Those
So there
poor
you go.
little potato creatures that get their souls sucked out.
I like Fizzgig. He was cool.
Puppets.
He was,
So you got
he was
that.
the dog with
Come on, the
all the teeth.
Skeksis were cool.
The Skeksis were great. Again, the costume and the design and the puppetry were fantastic.
Just give us some props. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, like,
Okay, for a
You
movie
scared
I
me.
don't like, I've seen it
I don't like
probably 20 times.
I mean, because the plot is that good.
No, because I turned the volume down and I fast forward through the freaky looking Carly Simon lookalikes. Because they all look like Carly Simon. Every single one of those things.
I used to show that at the end of the year at the 7. The kids were just like, looking at me like, what the that's boring
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I saw that movie the first time at the Gem Theater in Magna, Utah
All right.
for 50 cents.
Puppets.
I remember that.
For 50 cents?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I wish,
I wish
you
we
guys
were doing video
Yeah, I
today.
know. Like, yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
I need you to cosplay that.
Because Shannon is killing it on video right now.
All right.
It looks like, well, for those who can't see what he's doing, it looks,
So everyone else,
yeah, it looks like he's playing the piano.
He looks like
And
like Shannon cosplaying Rolf the dog, but as,
Yes.
as a
Little bit.
mystic from
Little bit.
Dark Crystal.
It's, yeah, it looks like somebody. It looks like he's playing the piano and somebody's feeding him corn on top through a tube.
Yeah, it's your corn tube.
All right.
corn
Last week, well, the 25th, was really Star Wars Day.
The true anniversary.
The true
Yeah.
anniversary, because
Yeah.
May 4th has been, turned into.
It's the Hallmark version.
Yeah, it's the hot topic
Yeah,
version.
there's
But
May,
that's okay.
No, which is fine. Yeah,
There's May the 4th, and then Revenge of the 5th after that.
Yeah.
But
Celebrate your Star Wars whatever way you want.
the 25th, was the day
Uh-huh.
that the movie premiered and changed all of our lives, I
Yeah.
think I can say.
yeah,
Even those of us that weren't there yet.
Yes?
yeah.
Yeah.
Star Wars waited for you.
Changed my life.
The way that it affected all the movies that came after it, you bet it affected my life.
Oh, yeah.
And really only affected all the movies that came after it by being affected by all the movies that came before it.
Well, there you go.
First thing,
It was a choke point.
Well, it was
And then a
a
funnel.
You say that, but I was thinking about that this morning.
well, you get into things like I can't remember the exact name of the sci-fi serial, but in the 50s there was something like Commander Cody and the Rocket Men.
Yes.
And the clone armor design in Episode 3 was very heavily influenced by that, as was General Kenobi's commander, Cody.
Yes.
You have the old Flash Gordon serials with Larry Buster Crabbe, very clearly influencing a lot of the costume design. And
Now the words at the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
In every Flash Gordon episode, it was last time. Flash Gordon and the Lion Men.
yeah, it's an homage to, of course, mythology, world mythology, and to Akira Kurosawa movies, and to the greatness of science fiction serials of the 50s. That can also be Star Wars' downfall sometimes, is he's so busy paying homage to the things that he liked that he forgot that sometimes it wasn't a good thing to like. But yeah, it is the perfect concentration, the pressure cooker of all the greatness that came before it, and then the inspiration for all the greatness that came after.
Well, I was thinking exactly about that this morning, because I was thinking about my awareness of it was strictly through Starlog magazine.
Great magazine.
And I was getting Starlog because of Star Trek, and stuff like that. And Star Trek turned me on to all of those old, sci-fi movies. It Came from Outer Space, When Worlds Collide.
Well, and if you're a Star Trek fan in the 70s, you wanted to track down the stuff that people in Star Trek had been in.
Yeah, and in Starlog magazine, they were interviewing these people who were talking about the making of Star Wars. It was just being made then, and they had pictures from the sets.
It's unusual.
And then the people talking about making the movie would talk about these other movies, and so I would seek them out. Forbidden Planet, all of those.
Because of C-3PO, we got turned on to Metropolis.
Exactly. So I started researching and learning about all that old sci-fi, and I would really encourage people to do that because it's important to know where your geek come from, know your lineage. And I wasn't excited about Star Wars. I was still a Star Trek fan. I was there every day at 4:00 when it was on in the afternoon, the reruns, and I would watch them over and over again. But I would see this thing that's developing and coming, and I'm like, well, it's not Star Trek.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I'll see it eventually. There's a picture of Darth Vader without his helmet. That guy's got big sideburns,
Right?
And okay, well, I don't know. This doesn't look like my bag, but we'll see. We'll see. So it was about I think 3 weeks after it opened, because it didn't open really wide like we're used to now.
Release, no.
It was only released in a few markets.
I think 200 theaters.
Yeah,
for
maybe
the first week.
Maybe,
Yeah.
if that, and it just exploded. And so then they started cranking out copies, to get them into the theaters, get them into the theaters. And the closest movie theater at that time was the one in Payson. It was like a mile and a half, 2 miles away from me. But it was not a big theater. It wasn't, in the big cities. Movies like that played in the big cities first.
Like the Center Theater here in Salt Lake.
Exactly. And then they'd slowly make it out to smaller markets. And so when it finally came to Provo, Utah, it was about 20 miles away. I was aware of it, but I didn't have a driver's license or anything like that. So I could ask Mom to take me to the movie in Provo, but she'd be like,
How old were you when it came out?
12 maybe, I think.
Yeah, I was 7, so
Yeah. So I was thinking I'd maybe ask Mom to take me, but she's not too keen about just dropping me off, and she doesn't want to see it. So my brother Kevin was dating his then fiance, whom he did marry, and they'd just go to movies, because that's what you do when you're dating. And they didn't know anything about it. They just heard people saying it was a good movie, and so they went and saw it. And they came home right afterward and said, "You've got to come. We're going to go see it again. You've got to come and see this thing. This is great." And that's when it happened. So, yeah.
God, I wish I was alive then.
Yeah.
Because
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like, I love when I'm alive right now for media, movies, TV. TV's amazing right now, video games and everything like that. But there's no giant genre, world-changing spectacle like that anymore. Everything we see, it's like, oh yeah, I saw a version of that already.
Or I can wait until it comes out on Blu-ray.
Or I'll wait till it comes out on Blu-ray.
There was no waiting until anything came out on anything.
Yeah, or it's like, everything's kind of been done, but Star Wars was so huge when it came out that it was like no one had ever seen anything like that at that level before.
Well, I want you to go and look at this thing. It's a theater in L.A. called the Cinefamily. It's one of these art house theaters, and they also do comedy and things like that. But they put together, and it's free online. They showed it at the Cinefamily, but it's free online right now. It's called Star Wars Nothing But Star Wars. So if you search Star Wars Nothing But Star Wars Cinefamily, one word, Cinefamily, you'll see it. I tweeted it on the Geekshow feed a couple of days ago. It is an hour and a half, but it's footage from those days that encompasses news reports about it, interviews with young Mark Hamill saying it was stupid.
Yeah.
He's being interviewed by some foreign press, and it's finally made it over there. And they said, "Can you walk down the streets of anywhere in America without getting recognized as Luke Skywalker?" And he says, "Oh, I can walk down the streets, but not unless I want to talk about Star Wars for 4 hours. It's stupid." I mean, he's just talking shit about this movie.
Nimoy's "I'm not Spock" moment.
Yeah, and it's a whole bunch of the actors at the time talking about the dialogue is terrible and
right?
and all this.
What
and
was
then-
it Harrison Ford's comment? George, you can write it, but try saying it.
I've never seen him say that, but
Yeah.
they have that footage.
Yeah.
They've got that footage.
Yeah.
And it's
That's great.
it's the toy ads, and it's the and just the mania around the whole thing.
Yeah, the mania is what I'm getting. It was what I was getting at earlier. There isn't that anymore for anything. I think we saw.
Well,
I think we saw a small glimpse of it when the first Avengers movie came out, because
It
that was
was-
the first time we'd seen all the superheroes in a genre come together like that.
The only other
But-
time that I see mania like that is Star Wars related, and it was certainly
But it's part of the culture
Even that-
already.
But even that's not the way it was, because think back to then, we didn't have all the media distractions we have now.
yeah.
yeah,
We
had three
three
fucking TV
three
stations
network stations and PBS.
And movies.
If you were lucky, you had PBS.
and movies.
And that's a conversation I had with my uncle one time, and we were talking about how when he was my age and younger, he'd go to movies multiple times, the same movie.
Yeah.
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 And I'm like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? There's a million movies out there, and TV's like, dude, back then,
Yeah.
there was nothing.
You
when,
had
a, when a
11
good
movies
movie
you could
came,
see.
when a
You
good
had-
movie came out, you went and saw it again and again because it was better than what was on his TV.
And
it was
if
better
you
than
were-
anything else in the theater.
If you were lucky, the movie did well enough that they would re-release it the next year.
Yeah.
And so Star Wars
Yeah.
was out every summer until Empire.
right.
Well, and that's like this
Wow.
poster that Jay asked about. It says, "Why does it say the Return of the Great Adventurous?" Well, that's when they
Yeah.
pull Raiders out for a while and then bring it back
Yeah.
for a re-release. Maybe 8
So, I mean,
months or 9 months later.
Just to give you perspective on this, first, the big Star Wars story, my dad calls it the greatest mistake he ever made, because when that movie came out, I didn't want to see it. I wanted nothing to do with it. I like Star Trek, and I like Disney.
Yeah.
And guess what opened the same week as Star Wars? The Rescuers.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
So all I wanted to see was The Rescuers. Desperately wanted to see The Rescuers. So we are at the famous Pickwick Drive-In Theater in Los Angeles, California. And as we're driving through the lane, it's my dad's birthday. And he just wants to see Star Wars. That's all it is. But we're in the same lane as The Rescuers because he was in the wrong lane. And I'm like, cool, my dad is pulling a solid on his birthday. He's taking me to see The Rescuers. And we end up in the Star Wars lane, and I throw a shit fit in the car. I'm like, I don't want to see that movie. I don't want to see that stupid trash can. I don't want to see that kid. I don't want to see any of this shit. Didn't say shit because, it was 7, and it was the 70s. You weren't allowed yet.
you weren't.
Yeah. So we end up seeing Star Wars, and seriously, the opening crawl hits, and that was, as my dad said, that was the end. That was the
Yeah.
beginning of the end. So,
Yeah.
but I remember the first thing I watched on home video was Star Wars on Laserdisc in 1979.
Well, and this will
Wow.
show you the lengths that you had to go through to even do that, because those units were so goddamn expensive.
Like $700 or $800.
Yeah, that you had
In
to-
1979
that,
money.
that you would have to wait until it got on Laserdisc.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'd go to the Laserdisc store, rent a machine, hook it up to
and
your
they were not small. I've
No.
looked at old
No, they were
Laserdisc units.
giant.
They were
Big.
huge.
hook it up to your TV, and then watch on a kind of a subpar screen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
they,
yeah,
were, they were
Kind of a subpar
the
screen.
TV this guy had that I saw it at. He had one of the big butt projectors, and then the screen was horrible, and so he was like, okay, it doesn't look that good on that, so he put it on the biggest TV he had in his house, which I think was a 27-inch color.
Oh my goodness. My computer monitor's bigger than
Yeah,
that.
but here's the only reason why we saw it,
Check your
because
privilege, okay?
I'm 10 years old. I'm in 4th grade, right? And this kid comes to school and says, I watched Star Wars at home last night. We're all like, fuck you, you did not. No way in hell you watched Star Wars. He's like, yes, I did. We called him a liar. This kid, to tell you the magnitude of this, he was the wealthiest kid in my 4th grade class, and he got beat up. Wealthy kids don't get beat up. No. But he got beat up that day because we're all like, no, you're lying. You didn't watch that. So the next day, his dad invites a bunch of the kids from the class to come watch Star Wars.
Seriously?
Yeah, and we're all like,
And then you beat the shit out of you
and
guys.
then we beat
Hey,
the-
you kids beat up my son yesterday. You want to come watch Star
Yeah,
Wars?
You guys like that fucking Star Wars?
This is Magnet.
Damn,
This is Magnet
damn.
1980. We beat the dad up.
and
Well,
then
I was gonna say for me,
Yeah.
like so, I was 6 when it came out, and really, like, you don't really form really good memories until like around 5, 6. You know what I mean? So
Maybe you didn't.
shut up. But like Star Wars has always been in my life. You know what I mean? As far as my memories go. And in fact, I saw the original Star Wars at the Center Theater. I drove there by myself. No, I'm just joking.
He stole the car.
No, it was my Uncle Barry.
The
My
age of 7.
My Uncle Barry comes to my mom and says, "Have you heard about the Star Wars?" And my mom's like, "Oh, Jesus
I don't
Christ,
know.
get out of here with that, Barry!" And my Uncle Barry was this rad dude. He looked like he aped Willie Nelson's whole style. He had the big long braids and he wore the bandana and all that shit. But he's like, I saw it the other day, and he's like, for some reason, I just think it's something that Shannon would really like.
That's
Right?
cool.
So he throws me in his truck.
Literally overhand.
I probably sat in the back rolling around in fucking 70s. You know?
You were tied next to the dog.
This is fun.
And we went to the center, that beautiful center theater that I just miss.
Corner State,
And
Maine.
he sat me down in the seat, and I was too little. Like the seat kept folding up on me, so he had to hold my seat down the whole time.
Man.
And I'll be honest, the only real memory I have of that theater showing is the opening crawl and that fucking music. I think it just makes
Yeah.
you go,
Yep.
"Ah!"
Yeah, it does something
And
real interesting to little kids.
I do remember that the Imperial Destroyer, like flat out, and probably the opening scene too. But yeah. But after that, I was just obsessed with it. Sheets,
Oh yeah.
fucking plates, glasses,
No.
fucking
I see all
like
this
all this
shit,
shit.
I forget
And,
that the action figures didn't even come out until after the movie had been out for a
Right.
while.
Yeah.
and the same thing when it came out on video. Fucking got it every weekend.
That's
Rented
dope.
Yeah.
and yeah, I
Well,
would go
and-
see it every summer.
And I as I recall, and maybe I'm wrong, it seemed like there was a surge in VCR sales when it was announced that CBS was going to broadcast Star Wars for the first time.
oh yeah.
Oh, so you could tape it?
Yeah.
That was the great VHS, the JVC debacle of 1984 because JVC lost the patent at that point, so people could start cranking out cheap VCRs. Prior to that, VCR was like $400 or $500.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you could get a VCR for $99, and my dad was like, "Oh, cool, we can pirate Star Wars." Well, it wasn't
Yeah.
pirating; you're just taping
Or you're
TV.
just recording
It
it,
was-
off
Yeah.
the TV.
So like, I remember one time Robert, my brother, waking up. This was when we were still Shannon. Wakes up just screaming. Ah! And I'm like, what? And then he was sitting there and he couldn't talk or anything. And he was like half asleep in that moment.
Yeah.
And I fucking woke him up and he swung at me. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, Darth Vader was here. Darth Vader was in the room.
It's neat. It's
Well,
neat.
and-
It's neat. What was?
Well, and that year was also Close Encounters.
yeah.
So if it wasn't for Star Wars and Close Encounters, I'd probably just be watching Captain Kirk Star Trek reruns right now.
Well, I kind of wonder because I just read a thing that
because if it wasn't for those two films, Paramount went, "Do we have a Star Wars?"
yeah.
And they said, "Oh yeah, we got this Trek. Let's bring it back."
I read a thing that Lucas was so convinced that it was going to bomb that he just went to Hawaii and hung out with Spielberg for
Yeah.
a week.
That's crazy.
And that may not be the week that Indiana Jones was hatched, but it was the beginning of that ritual that brought Indiana Jones about.
see.
So-
Well, can I ask you two guys something?
yeah.
Okay, Scholastic book orders.
Yep.
Yes.
Do you remember like every time? So
Oh.
like after Star Wars, before Empire and before Jedi, in our Scholastic book orders, at school.
Oh,
you
you used
get-
to
Yeah,
get
yeah, I
them.
remember that shit.
I
That's how I
got
got.
them.
That's how I
So-
discovered Calvin and Hobbes.
I didn't know you guys got them. They're old.
Well, yeah, but we got
up, Tony.
Fuck you.
but Tony,
God.
We
in
had
our
books
day,
back then too, asshole.
You had books?
in our day,
Not
if you,
stone tablets?
Yeah, Tony, check your privilege.
if you ordered a fifth Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators book, you got a free kitten poster.
That's pretty cool.
right.
Yeah.
Did
So-
it say hang in there?
Yeah,
and he was
that's
on
what
break?
I
No.
said. Exactly what I was
No, we didn't work in offices.
But do you remember like before Empire and before Jedi came out, when we got our Scholastic book orders, there was the illustrated storybook.
Yep. Well, and the novelization.
Yeah. So we'd be able to get this like months. It was just like it'd be like months before
Yeah.
the new one came out.
Yeah.
And the minute that fucking thing came in and we got it at school at recess, we're all like, what the fuck's a Boba Fett? Holy shit!
that's how
Whoa,
Boba Fett
Why is Leia's outfit making my penis move?
Well, that's how Boba Fett became an obsession. I mean, they put out the Kenner figure months before the movie, and then we got the Scholastic storybook with the photographs,
And we saw Boba animated.
and we saw the Christmas special.
in the holiday special. That's where he made his debut.
Let me go back just a second to what you said a little bit earlier, Leigh, how the original movie action figures didn't come out for a couple of years.
I think it was early '78, but I might be wrong.
That's
'Cause
crazy.
that-
Again, on that Cinefamily thing, there's a commercial for it
that?
that explains it.
Because the interesting thing about that to me compared to today as well is if there was a movie that came out, even if it was a big movie, and they put action figures out for it a year later, nobody would give two craps.
That's the Wonder Woman figures have been out. They're already starting to put them on clearance in some stores because they've already been out for a couple.
And the
months.
movie's not even out yet.
No.
Like that kind of cultural phenomenon in media, it doesn't exist
But
anymore.
he created that. Lucas created that. I
Right,
mean, there was Mego. If you were lucky,
wait. So you're saying before that it didn't exist either?
No.
only if Mego decided, because before that it was like action figures were pretty much dolls for boys, right?
Uh-huh.
That's the way
G.I. Joes
that's the way most of the old timers looked at it. It was either
Yeah.
G.I. Joes, anything else was a doll for boys and sissy stuff.
That's true.
And so Mego every once in a while will be like, "Oh, cool, we're going to put out these 8-inch tall action." Well, Kerry's got a lot of them
Yeah, there's-
of superhero figures,
Yeah.
and then they did Star Trek,
Uh-huh.
and those
And
were
like
action
Planet of
figures.
the Apes.
Yeah, and Planet of the Apes, and,
Yeah.
and a couple of. I think they did.
And DC and
Yeah.
To be honest, they did emergency figures for
did.
Emergency 51. Yeah, regardless.
yeah.
So they did all this shit, and then Star Wars, because Lucas had to basically give away the farm to Fox to distribute the movie in the first place.
Right.
They sold the rights to Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he kept the rights to licensing, which no one gave a shit about. No one gave a shit about licensing at all. They're like, well, who cares about this?
And
Who's gonna?
Fox was like, fuck.
Yeah, and so he licensed likeness rights. He licensed merchandising and all this other stuff. So when Kenner finally saw that maybe it was going to be something, he sold them the rights to make the toys, and they were huge
Yeah.
in a way that, and they were tiny. No one bought little
And they
action
were,
figures.
and they were small. And,
mean, you see them.
And
Oh,
super
yeah.
affordable. How much did those things cost?
$2.99.
Yeah, they were
$2.99.
they were like $2 or $3, and
Yeah.
and the early bird pack was what it was called, and what it is that you would buy an envelope or something, and it had like a sticker in it
Yeah.
and a stand
Yep.
for your figures when they came, and they
They
said
hadn't even made them yet.
they said if you buy this and inside is a form and you mail that form in, and as soon as we get them made, we'll mail them to you.
in 6
Yeah.
months.
That's
Yeah.
a
fucking
that's
insane.
a pre-order.
yeah.
That's
And-
old
and
school
that's-
pre-order.
And that
Yeah.
was that Boba Fett figure
Huh.
with the thing.
Well, the
that
Boba
with
Fett
the-
was proofs
with
of
the shot,
purchases.
right?
Yeah, proof of purchase with Boba
Yeah,
Fett.
and that was the most genius thing in the world because it was 1979. Empire were starting to maybe see a little bit of stuff like in Starlog, and they say, you send us 5 proofs of purchases from Kenner action figures, and we're going to send you Boba Fett.
A free action figure.
A free
shit.
action figure.
That's and then
shit.
they did that with Hasbro did that with in the G.I. Joe later.
Yeah.
That's how I got my hooded Cobra Commander.
Yeah. So they
900
they
years
ended
to
up-
get.
they
Check
ended
that
up-
fucking
they ended up doing this thing.
mailbox every fucking day. Where's my goddamn
So
Cobra
we were
Commander?
so freaked out about Boba Fett because all of us kids, we didn't save packaging. Why would you save your packaging, right?
Oh, right.
So collector culture kicks in. You're like 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, and all of a sudden you're running down to your local store to buy action figures. You need 5 of them. $3 a pop, $15, 1979 money.
Sure.
And you're clipping out that proof of purchase. But then you know what? You're probably keeping the front for the art anyway, because all of a
Sure.
sudden you're thinking, I need to hold on to this shit, because when are they going to give something else away?
Now this is a
Oh, Kerry's got his shit.
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit!
this is not the actual one. This is a recreation.
Oh, okay.
That's
of
what you
the-
bought, though.
But that's what you bought.
Can I see it?
You bought this, and inside was a stand.
Where you get that from?
I can't remember where I got it from. And you could,
That's what
so,
was inside
so it would
here.
fold out, and it went with that gray stand up there.
Okay.
And you would put them in through the holes there, and this is how you would display your figures.
Huh.
He said, well, the early bird pack was R2, Luke, Leia, and Chewie, I believe.
Yeah.
And so you send us money, and we'll send you figures in 6 months. Yeah, right there.
But I didn't even know that shit existed. It was like I went every summer. I'd go down to visit my grandmother, and it was usually supposed to be like a week-long visit that turned into 4 months and whatever else.
Whoa.
But we were at this Toys R Us, and the end caps in front of the registers, every single one of them was full of Kenner Star Wars figures. And they were literally flying off the shelf as fast as the people were stocking them. So I remember standing there with my grandmother, who had no patience for anything, And she's like, "Don't move, just stand here." And we stood there until she bought me the first line of figures. But yeah, it was well after the movie had come out.
Wow.
Speaking of didn't know existed, that closet that Kerry just went to retrieve that shit.
magic
I
closet.
I was just like, yo, what the fuck, man?
Where Kerry go?
Are those iron-ons?
We've been
Yes.
recording in
Oh
the
my
studio.
god!
Oh,
I haven't
shit.
seen an iron-on since I was 10.
Now these were how you got your Star Wars shirt.
Yeah, you went down to a place in the mall and you said, "I want that," and they'd put it on a shirt
And
for you.
Seriously.
they'd take a plain shirt out so you could pick the color of the shirt.
Oh
But
my
because
God.
it was the 70s, a lot of times it had stripes on the
Yeah.
sleeves.
And see, this is
so interesting.
This really is.
This is the Jawa and
Dude,
the,
you just
Tusken Raider.
took us down an archaeological.
No, it is
So-
is that a Grand Central bag?
It is.
What the fuck, Kerry?
It's
you
in,
get Grand
it's in that closet that we didn't know existed.
Does that closet take you back in time, motherfucker?
machine.
No, Grand Central. Okay,
time machine.
Closet's a time machine.
The time closet.
so that's the store that existed before Fred Meyer.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my God, I'm freaking out right now.
This is really interesting to me because my first exposure to Star Wars, where I was like, I really like this intellectual property kind of a thing. I was a little bit older. I was like,
Is that how you thought about it? You
I was
little nerd?
17.
I know.
I was 17.
This is
Jesus
intellectual
Christ.
property.
Yeah.
What?
Wait till you hear my Star Wars story.
It was the original Xbox Knights of the Old Republic RPG.
it's a good game.
just freaking fantastic. I thought the story in that game was better than any of the Star Wars movies I'd seen at the time.
Here's this is when the glut of Jawas happened.
What is that?
See, remember I couldn't find Jawas forever?
Yeah.
And that was the goal. Well, they overproduced them after that. There were Jawas everywhere.
So they were
here
giving
was
them away.
Here was a deal where you got a cash refund of up to $3 on the purchase of Jawa action figures.
That's a
'cause
mail-in rebate.
They just wanted to get rid of them.
That is a
Please.
mail-in
So
rebate.
basically, you get a free Jawa.
Please buy the Jawas.
So if you were really smart, you would buy 5 Jawas, you'd get reimbursed for the 5 Jawas, and you'd send the proof of purchase in to get your free Boba Fett.
Oh God damn!
Now you're
you was a
gaming the
player.
system.
You was a straight up gangster.
Nah,
Is that an original 1979 calendar?
I
Damn.
was such a cash poor kid. My X-wing fighter was made out of a box of more menthols.
it's water damaged, but it's
Well, that's what happens in a time machine
it's,
closet.
it's the
Had a
1979,
coolant leak.
and yet the centerfold of Chewie there. It's,
Damn.
Yeah, where he deserves to be.
Damn, Kerry, I've known you for like 7,000
I've
years,
never seen
and
any
I've
of
never
this
seen
shit.
any of this.
And
That's right.
you never even knew you had a time closet.
It's because that just appeared, and it's going to disappear soon.
And it's gone.
I've noticed that door, but I never really
I know,
recognized
I
it
know.
as a door.
So you're sure
But
your
anyway.
older brother really took you to see Star Wars, and it wasn't just you after going into the closet saying,
Holy shit!
his own older brother?
Oh,
Yeah.
This guy wandered out of the
"Yeah,
forest. He looked just like me.
this man with a Thurston Howell jacket."
And a fedora.
Inception noise.
Come with me, boy.
Come with me if you want to geek.
we got to wrap this up. So, anybody got anything they want to add before we?
I'll be quick. I'll be honest, and I came to the Star Wars party extremely late.
Later than me?
Later than you.
Really?
Like, and it's a weird thing, but I'm like recapping my child. Like as I was listening to you guys, and I'll make it quick. But the best way to describe it is I grew up in Los Angeles, in Inglewood, California, where all you did was play sports. That's what you did. And like my parents put me into basketball, football, hockey, like you name it. I was playing sports, and so I knew about comics. I knew the general idea of Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker. I didn't know the specific details, but I knew that was some shit that I kind of knew about. We talk about it. Graduated grade school, still didn't really pick the time to watch it. Knights of the Old Republic came out when I was in high school.
Did you play that?
Didn't even I was like, I'm not there yet.
Oh.
I was like, I still didn't know much about it. I mean, I knew the Luke, I'm your father, like
Yeah.
all that shit. It wasn't until, and I hate that this is like, I knew about Lando Calrissian. I mean, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be here if not for Lando Calrissian, because I'm pretty sure the first thing my dad said to my mom was, "Hello, what have we here?" I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Smoothest line in cinema.
It's the fucking greatest. It's the greatest. But it wasn't until fucking Samuel L. Jackson had a purple lightsaber, and like I was like, okay, I kind of need to go back and like see what I
gotcha.
By the way,
So your first exposures were the prequels.
not the prequels. I just went once.
it was Mace Windu.
Yeah, it was Mace. Lando first,
Oh, that's
then
right.
Mace.
Lando, yeah.
Lando
right, my
first,
bad.
then Mace, and then I came like back and started like watching. I was like, Dad, can you just take me to see this stuff? And then the prequels were out, and they started re-releasing Star Wars back. So I was like, can you just really? And we sat down and watched it, and then I was like, hell yeah. I remember I was like 18. So I showed up pretty late, but it's still the greatest shit to me.
Mace Windu was the free action figure giveaway with 5 proofs of purchase for Phantom Menace.
Was he?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how we knew he had a purple lightsaber because we didn't see anything on him.
Can you go back in the time closet and see? And
I thought I had one of those. Mace
I
Windu's.
do have one
Yeah.
still in the package. Really quick, Injustice 2 on whatever platform is a
Yes.
fantastic
It's on
beat 'em
all
up
of them.
game. Also in the theme of Star Wars, if you can find these right here. This is from Fantasy Flight Games. They're the current property holder for all Star Wars games, miniatures, whatever, tabletop stuff. They just put out a game called Destiny. Impossible to find right now. I don't know. I got lucky. I went down to Battleground Games down here, and Demolition Games. They had them when no one else does, but it somehow marries customizable card games like Magic the Gathering, and you can collect a squad, collect a game, but it allows a dice mechanic to it too. So you can play, Kylo.
Pretty dice, too.
Yeah, they're pretty dice. The dice actually correspond
God damn,
with the
look at
character.
them pretty ass dice.
But you could be Kylo Ren and put together a squad of guys to fight your friend's Jabba the Hutt character. It's all completely
So it's all-
customizable.
it's not
That's
just
cool.
one.
It's all Star Wars.
Okay.
So if you're real into Clone Wars era Obi-Wan Kenobi, you can find the Obi-Wan Kenobi card and dice, and you can go up against Kylo or Captain Phasma, and you can put together a team. It is a fun fucking game. It's I like Magic. Magic's fun, but the minutia of it gets to me a little bit. This game takes a little bit of the dice mechanic takes a little bit of that minutia away.
And then tell us about this one.
Imperial Assault's been out for about 3 years now, but
Okay.
it's just now hitting its stride as far as I'm concerned. It's a tabletop game kind of like Clue, but you put different map tiles together, and you can either play multiple players against an Empire player, or you can play a skirmish game where you just pick a team. And again, it crosses the different timelines too. So you can have a team that's, Jedi Luke with Hera, and different droids or whatever else. I even have the Rancor for it, and the miniature for that is about 6 or 7 inches tall.
I
Not
love
so
this.
many.
I love this chopper figure.
The chopper figure's fantastic. So the core game's like $80, but it comes with a bunch of miniatures and rules. It's a really, really fun game that you can play in about an hour. But you can also it's not all just the licensed characters either. They've put together your rebel squads that might have some Bothans and some Bith and some other really cool
Bothans,
aliens.
some biffs.
And you can play a campaign setting with that and actually level your characters up like you would in a game like Dungeons & Dragons, but without the 17 5,000-page rule books to go along with it.
That's fun.
Fantasy Flight's knocking it out of the park. They're making some great games. Even their role-playing game system for Star Wars is more fun than role-playing's been in Star Wars for
Awesome.
probably 30 years.
All right.
Games.
Games?
Oh, wait, I got movies before.
Okay.
The only thing of event that's of note that's coming up this week is
You're looking at your phone, but there's nothing on it.
it's a Monster. Monstered, starring Mojo Nixon. Finally, it's getting the Criterion.
Oh, the Criterion
It's got the
edition
Criterion
of
treatment
Monstered.
of Monstered.
I've been waiting
so
for
pick
that.
that up. That's all I got, Tony.
Okay.
Okay.
Tony?
All right. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Video games. There's some indie-ish games coming out. Something called Tokyo 42.
You're playing a middle manager in Tokyo.
I guess so. Yeah. At the age of 42.
My
there-
life.
on the Nintendo Switch, if you got one of those and you're interested in that,
Jimmy loves his, by the way.
I love mine, too.
He was
It's-
telling me about how much he likes
I
it.
saw
great.
one. I saw one. Somebody had one at Fresh, and I
It's
threatened to beat him up and take it.
it's
but-
just a really neat little system,
and the
it's-
graphics are gorgeous.
and it's selling really well.
I think- I think
Nintendo's
Egg's gonna-
got another hit on their
Good,
hands
good.
finally.
I think
so.
Egg's gonna marry his.
Yeah.
He loves it so much.
And speaking of which, this next week
He's
on
never
the
getting married.
let's see, on the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th, if you're interested in that game Arms, coming out for the Switch, where you use the two controllers as punching thingies. It looks interesting. It doesn't really look like my cup of tea, but they're doing some test runs with ARMS. So if you get on your Switch and download the test demo, there'll be certain hours of the day on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th where you can do multiplayer. It's a multiplayer beta test against
Egg,
other
let's
people.
do it. Egg, you're
So-
listening right now. Let's do it.
Kawachu egg.
That could be pretty cool. Let's see. Also, Tekken 7 comes out this week.
I haven't
There's
seen
that.
I haven't seen
I
a Tekken
love
since
Tekken.
4. Would I be lost?
You might miss out on the
They
story.
just fighting, dog. They just fighting. I
So
fucking love tech.
Yeah, some classic Tekken action
Oh fuck!
on PS4, Xbox, and PC, so you can get on anything.
All right.
But also, this one, some people have been waiting quite a while for this one. Since it was announced, it looks pretty cool. Star Trek Bridge Crew VR.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
comes
yeah.
out for PS4 Pro or
What-
PS4 VR and PC VR.
What kills me about that is that your crew doesn't have to be together. So I can get on my PlayStation, Kerry, you get on yours. We don't even have to leave our houses.
Yeah.
And it'll let us do a VR bridge simulator.
That's
So
fucking.
That sounds like
it's
trouble.
exactly that.
The expansion and support that they're talking about for this game is mind-boggling. So the first mission, you go off and do a relief mission against some Klingons.
Oh, cool.
But they say that they have got expansions coming out like every 2 or 3 weeks that will make this game just keep on going so that you can keep doing simulations.
It's got potential.
Yeah, I
for
think
some
you can have
serious
something like
legs.
5 players linked in on this. So
Which
you have
is-
a helmsman, a captain, a science officer, a
It's
navigator.
so cool.
oh,
you know?
we're gonna do it.
You have to get a PS4.
I don't
So-
have.
You know, if the jerky keeps going, I'm gonna buy everybody PS4s.
I'm down with that.
And
Hey,
we'll have
hey, y'all.
a bridge.
Yeah.
Jerky King.
So I'm just saying, the Jerky King is magnanimous. He will. And the anniversary skins for Overwatch.
Yes, I was just. Thank
Oh
God.
yeah. That came out. Those
Shit.
came out last week, right?
Did y'all see
Yes.
this shit?
Yeah.
This shit is
It's-
so fire.
It's beautiful.
It's so fire.
And they got new dances for
The
victory
dances are
or
my
whatever.
favorite one for all of them is Reaper because Reaper's too cool for school.
Exactly.
So he just crosses his arms and he's slightly tapping his foot, but he does not fucking dance.
It's so fucking. Guys, I found a video game.
Oh,
that
you're a
I-
Diva player, aren't you?
I am a Diva fan.
Yeah.
Like, you look at my account, and it's like my top players are Diva, like Lucio, and like Reinhardt, and fuck. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but I'm in Symmetra and Diva all day though. I'm like, you guys. I finally found this game. Like, I've always liked video games, but like I love Overwatch.
Overwatch is fantastic.
Because you got 22 motherfucking characters, and like over almost half of them are female, and it's so diverse. There's like every fucking race included.
Oh,
like, it's so.
And not only that, they went the extra mile, made sure that people from those cultures actually voice the characters.
Exactly. It's
So
so
it's not
dope.
some guy doing a stereotypical voice.
It's so dope. I fucking love that game.
So yeah,
Fucks with me on Overwatch, y'all. Full Whitaker Xbox gamer tag. Shit. I love it.
I'm Winston and Lucio, and
Woo!
Lucio's anniversary skin is phenomenal.
Woo!
Divas is like if she had been a 50s pinup girl.
Yeah,
that's
right.
It's but not
Fucking love
exploitative in any way. She's got a little.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
awesome.
cool. The game is amazing. Please play it. I love Overwatch. Happy anniversary.
I also found out if you're playing Overwatch on the PC and the community's starting to bring you down, there's a lot of harassment going on in the PC Overwatch community.
great.
You can
Fuckers.
Well, they'll tell you to kill yourself and shit like that. Well, guess what? If you're emotionally unstable, the last thing you need is somebody telling you to kill yourself. But found out that the European server is actually super cool, really helpful, and will
Isn't that
take
a
time to-
shock?
yeah.
Yeah.
Europeans are nicer than Americans.
And after the first half hour of what the fuck's going on in your country, then you can play the game and have a good time.
All right, let's wrap this up, Mr. B.
Eat more ham. We're corner time!